we're back with Up Your Arsenal. Alright, oddly the start button does not close the start. Right away, there's a loop-de-round. Back to the start. You can't zoom in quite as far on the map here as you could in the previous game. Alright, got our first Gadgetron vendor. They look a little bit jazzier. And here we go. 2 new weapons, N60 Storm and Plasma Whip. I reckon I'll be going for the Plasma Whip because that's the only one I can afford. And as for right now, we'll go back to the Nitro Launcher, level it up to V2, as was discussed previously. It probably will change later on as we get further through the game, but right now it runs much more smoothly than either of the previous games. And let's go ahead and fight these pretty cool ninja, not even ninja, these nomadic beasts. This actually makes me kind of look forward to Crash Bandicoot as well, which I think is the next thing I'm gonna be playing. Yeah, 23 apiece. Now, you are introduced to a number of new mechanics in this particular planet, one of which I will admit I don't really like. Alright, I don't think it's very well thought out, I'll say. But you know, I'm not afraid to say it, this game's not perfect, neither is the last game. I don't really like the space battles in those, in that. I don't like the hover bike races in that. This one I do like. It's a temporary bolt multiplier. Makes this area quite tempting. Of course, once you get back here in challenge mode, I think the multiplier from that crate stacks with yours to create a lot of voltage. As of right now, we are at 9,004 bolts. Oh shit. Shit. Yeah, you knew that was gonna happen. God damn it. Oh, here's a new thing that's amazingly improved. You have a max out ammo option, which just allows you to purchase ammo for everything that is missing ammo, just like that, instantly. So 10 times better, 10 times smoother, 10 times more convenient. You also have a cycling option so that you can just press triangle switch between your 3 most recently used weapons, which is quite cool. Right, so there was a third one that came down suddenly. Whoa, this is fast. Camera, whoa. Rotation speed, let's crank that up. And here, it must have been that guy. Here you have a big guy. Ow. And there we go. Almost getting up to the game mechanic that I said I didn't like. Bam. I mean, as of right now, there's nothing about this that you don't recognize. It's just intensely satisfying to kill enemies. It's intensely... it's intense, let's be honest. Yep. There's the nanotech, only 2 apiece, but I do believe the nanotech sort of varies in value depending on how much HP you have, so that it's always worth, so that it's always like, it gives you a decent amount of health. Hello? Bam! Bam! It's gonna take a little while to get this to V2, looks like. Oh, so good, dude. 3 in 1 blow. Oh shit. Alright, now the whip. And the whip essentially is the same as your wrench, but it has a longer range and it does more damage. So when leveled up, it's pretty cool. As of right now, not really. This is a very weird way to do a ladder, but it works. You can even throw it, which is the ideal means by which to do damage using the whip. And you can see there's an unlockable, a new unlockable. It's called the trophy. Just checking for a minute here. Not invisible wall, so that's not where you get the platinum bolt here. I think I actually remember. Anyway, watch that. Just fucking buy all the ammo right away. So good. So satisfying. So brilliant. I think the platinum bolt is like down here. This camera is actually a little bit too fast. Set it back there, I think that's fine. Break that, and then break all of the above, and here's our first, sorry not platinum bolt, titanium bolt. Don't know if I'm gonna go for all of them, to be perfectly honest with you, because they don't really serve much of a purpose. You can, oh, I can't pause while the game is saving. You can see the skins here. The Snowman skin is a classic. Tuxedo Ratchet's a classic. Buginoid, Brainus, Robo Rooster, Trooper, one of your enemies, Robo, Tricked Out Robot Breakdancer, Sumo, ooh, and then Ninja. The armors look better, I think, than those, so, ooh. I'll just not use the titanium bolts for much, if anything, really, and that's fine. Wow, that was a one-shot. That seems odd. Bam! Took 3 shots earlier, didn't it? And that's the thing I don't like right there, this crate. Inferno power. So, this wrench is now real strong. I have 2 of them, as you can see. I look pretty badass. But I can't use my weapons. Circle just uses the wrench, so... You'd have to ask what the point is, because you can't level up your weapons, so that's why I'm letting it run out rather than playing on with it, so that I can then go into here and actually use my weapons. Fortunately, you don't really get much in the way of options there. You don't really get it very often, but yeah, I'll try to not make use of it too much, because you'd rather see the weapons, I'd rather use them. And bam! Bam! Let's add a wall jump. And what's this? A little bit of a secret area, I dare say. A few bolts. I think this was one of the first secret areas I ever found in a video game. This was almost certainly my first Ratchet Clank game. I can't quite remember. And then as you go through here, see that this is no longer an invisible wall, as it leads you to a trophy. And appropriately, it's the Ratchet trophy. So, yeah, grab this vine. Would you call that a vine? Whatever it is. Slide back down. And all the trophies can be used to grant you access to the Insomniac Museum. So rather than using the 3 AM glitch here, not glitch, but feature, I'll just try to get all the trophies. And that's probably for the best. And the maximum amount I just increased. So it does kill enemies and break stuff. Those areas back there, you can't really get to them. Which is maybe slightly unfortunate. And this one should be an invisible wall once again, yes. And there should be nothing down there. Shit. I was meaning to see if there was something down there. I don't quite think you can see that. Well, you've got that sort of building there, but I don't think they programmed access to it. So it's probably for the best that we swung down the vine instead. Bam. Alright. This is pretty cool. It adds a very tribal feeling to it. And like I said, it does make me excited to play Crash Bandicoot because some of the areas in it are somewhat like this. They somehow have lamps here though, that's a little perplexing. Maybe they're not lamps, maybe they just have like, what's it called? The bugs that make light. I would call them light bugs, but I don't know if that's correct.
Ratchet, we have company. Where? Behind you. Where? Behind you. Very funny. You having a good time?
You trespass on sacred ground. Now you walk path of death.
But, sir.
Path of death.
Here's the path of death. Ow. Whoa. I didn't actually know you could do that. Oh. If you figured out who. Very nice. Very, very nice. And if you've managed to figure out who this mystery person is, then congratulations. Alright, here's some more tribesmen. Can I kill them? Doesn't look like it. So they've got falling rocks. It really is quite Crash Bandicoot-esque. At least that's the thing that I think about when I see this. Whoa. Like a Crash Bandicoot but with guns. Actually, you do get a gun in the third game. You get a bazooka. So titanium bolt. I'm gonna get enough to get the ninja suit, and that's about it. I may be persuaded just on the grounds that I get a trophy for it. It's not really the most impressive or indeed even interesting trophy, but yeah, I do believe I'm on route to getting a skill point for doing the path of death without taking damage. So we'll try to make that a reality if at all possible. I'm not quite sure why I said that with a slightly Australian inflection. I think that was an Australian inflection anyway. So there are some safe spots here. Are there here though? We may never know. There we go, skill point, did that. Grab the N60 storm gun. And yeah.
Not be.
Okay, we walked your path of death. Now, tell us what you know about Dr. Nefarious.
Huh?
Dr. Nefarious! They say you're the only man to ever beat him.
Huh?
This guy's even dumber than Captain Quark?
Yeah, Captain. Woo! That's it, Quark. You've had this coming for a long time.
Oh, fuck off. I was trying to pause, but it wouldn't because it was saving. Alright. Dude, this is really slow. This is really slow. That's not gonna be enough. Okay, so this is, of course, the only man to ever beat Dr. Nefarious, and he is Captain Quark. Right. And, well, Captain Quark is pretty much almost single-handedly what makes this game so great. Not almost single-handedly, but he's one of the reasons why he's so great. His inclusion and his role in the game is exceptional. Are exceptional. Sorry. And, well, he's not that tough. He fights like one of the tribesmen, but he is, of course, tougher. And we improved the nanotech and the nitro as well.
Now what? Just keep the mask on. He thinks you are his new leader.
Great.
Incoming call.
This is Captain Sasha of the Starship Phoenix. The President has asked me to assist you.
Hi.
I see you have located Captain Quark.
Yeah, we got him, but, well, he thinks he's a monkey.
Of course. Bring him to the Phoenix and we'll see what we can do. Sasha out.
Whoa. Right. This planet, the Starship Phoenix, I'm not gonna mark it as its own individual planet in the videos because it's sort of like a hub world. So, not really any purpose to that.
Look at that, Clank. This ship is amazing.
Welcome aboard the Phoenix, gentlemen.
Whoa.
Impressive, isn't she? The Phoenix is the pride of the galactic fleet. She's equipped with the latest technology. Holodeck training suites, auto vendors for armor and weapons, virtual firing range, starfighter upgrade system, even a Gadgetron VG-9000 game system.
VG-9000?
Of course. With a Mavix Fireball Pro controller, VR headset, and a zero-G dance pad.
VR headset.
Will you marry me?
Well, you've obviously had an exhausting trip. Why don't you stop by your quarters? We prepared a custom living area for Quark, so he won't get in your way.
That's very kind.
Meet me on the bridge when you're ready.
Alright, here is a level up sequence first of all. And let's see what we get for it. Acid damage, right. 240, and it also does acid damage. So you can see very handy there. Here, by the way, some optional kind of cosmetic, there's the word, some optional cosmetic changes to your ship if you are interested in it, which I myself am not. Right. I will definitely give it some touch-ups though. Some more weapons here, by the way. Gadgetron. Gadgetron offers a special discount to all former Gadgetron employees, so I'll do that. It'll check for the Ratchet & Clank 1 save file, and it should make everything a little bit cheaper, because in Ratchet & Clank 1 you do work for Gadgetron for a little bit. Yeah, 10% discount. And I've also unlocked a new skin. So, Infector and Stock Cannon. Let's check out the new skin. I would guess that that's, yeah, old school Ratchet. Unfortunately, it doesn't look very good, so. But that's cool, 10% off. Makes everything very convenient. Sorry, just changing out of my jeans and into something a little bit more comfortable and appropriate for the fact that it's, well, almost 11 p.m. Okay, so the nice thing that here, by the way, that they do, alright, does it do that all the time? No. The nice thing that they do here, they send you to the VR arena to test out the weapons before you buy them. So here's the Infector, and well, it simply just does damage over time. You also get some bolts for doing this. You don't of course level up the weapon, and you get hardly any bolts, and you can't use any other weapon appropriately. Yeah. And this Infector is so far pretty bad, and yeah, just giving you an idea of what each weapon is like before you actually buy it, which is nice enough. And back here we have armor vendors. Right away, there's a Magnaplate armor, which is fairly cheap, only 10k, so you'd have to say probably something we'll be looking forward to fairly soon. Come on, Quirk. Fucking Galactic Rangers are getting in his way. Can he make it? Yes. And now let's just take him to the quarters. Here we go.
How do you think he got like this?
Well, the life of an intergalactic superhero can be very stressful.
Yeah. Anyway, you're telling me this nutcase is our only hope for stopping Nefarious? We're hosed.
Here's the gaming system, but as you can see, we do need a vid comic before we can use it. Here's where we sleep. Nice reflection. I suppose these are speakers or something for when you want to listen to music. These are speakers, definitely. For that full surround sound. How nice of them. Right here we have the trophy room, of which I only have one, of course. And here's the secret room. Sasha is not actually telling us yet that it's a secret room because we haven't spoken to her yet. And here's the VR simulation where you can do some arena stuff for really not a lot of money at all. But I'll do that immediately, of course. You can't jump while this is moving for whatever reason. And well, there's a whole other area of the starship that we're not seeing. There's the map. Yeah, trophy room, vid comic, VR deck, armor vendor, weapons vendor, and bridge. Straightforward enough.
We're losing the signal. Try boosting the power.
Isn't that the president?
They came out of nowhere! Tyrannoid invasion force! Presidential compound has been breached! Cannot hold out much longer here!
Mr. President! Dad! Are you there?
Dad?
Robotic citizens of the Florana galaxy, the hour of your liberation is at hand! Too long have we robots suffered under the bigotry, the stupidity, the squishiness and foul stench of organic life forms. Soon, all robots will bask in the liberty and equality of my benevolent, iron-fisted rule. As for you filthy organic life forms, you can look forward to being disintegrated. That's all for now.
Plot a course from Arcadia. Maximum speed. Prepare the dropship for planetary assault. We're going in.
We'll see you on Arcadia.
Alright. It's really awkward that it's just called Capital City because I'm gonna name the video Capital City and it'll be really vague and all that, but I've stuck with the convention of naming videos not after the planets, but after the specific area in the planets. So I'll have to stick with that now. Return to the hangar. Looks like you once again don't get to see where the titanium bolts are, which is awkward. Unless you select the ship, of course. It's quite unfortunate that. Quite unfortunate. But apart from that, let's go ahead and do the VR simulations now. Oh, we got 1,200, that's all V2. Let's go ahead and whip out the plasma. And it should be more than enough to take care of, well, everything here, really. So, these guys get summoned and whip them, and presumably they die right away. Yes, that is indeed the case. Bam! They give barely any XP at all. I actually don't know if they give XP, I presume they do, but if they do, it's really, really tiny. Let me have a look. Can't quite tell, to be honest with you. Cannot quite tell whether they do. I suppose they must, but yeah, it's not much. Yeah, they do, okay. But yeah, not much. 300 volts as a reward. Thank you. Don't look down. Slightly more exciting, this one. I think that you don't, like, even if you lose ammo in this section because it's a VR simulation, when you come back out of it, you still have full ammo, I think. I might be wrong in that. How? Yo. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely leveling up, but particularly slowly against these guys, who you may remember as being in the Gadgetron site in Ratchet Clank 1. They appeared on several occasions. And I said when I was playing that, I said, oh, here's something that will be present in the next game, or I said, like, these guys look familiar, which of course in the context of the playthrough didn't make much sense because that was the first appearance, but I meant familiar in the sense that I'd seen them before in this game, and I doubted it at the time, but now I can see that I was right, and that's nice. A bit of a continuity in the game never hurts. Just makes it feel slightly more like, you know, one unified, re-existing world. Speed round. Destroy all the test dummies before time runs out. Sure. I pretty much destroy them as soon as they appear, so not gonna say no to that. And just to test whether my ammo theory is correct, I'm just gonna spam the whip as much as possible before it's all over. Should be more than enough to test. 13 out of 25. I come out of it, and I got back in Hot Stepper, and I have 25 out of 25. Yeah, so everything is just a simulation. It's a pretty easy setup, this one as well. This is pretty much just done as something you do at the start, just to maybe get an extra level or a few more bolts. But pretty much you never really touch this room again, except to try out weapons, which is admittedly a little bit awkward when you could just go to any planet and try them out. But then, you know, obviously you have to buy them in that case. But these enemies are so weak that trying out like a rocket launcher type weapon doesn't really give you any fair indication of its damage, because they'll just die in one hit. They're dying in one hit to the fucking whip, which think is my weakest weapon. Yeah, 40. So, then again, it says that the N60 Storm is 150, but I really doubt that every one of its shots does, you know, 3 times the damage of a shock blaster. That doesn't seem correct. It's almost leveled up. You'd expect to have it at V2 by the end of the whole VR. Bam! So how ahead of the time were they? Fucking putting a VR headset in a game. If only they knew. Maybe they should remake this game and give you actual VR headset support. Actually, I would imagine that the concept of a VR headset is older than this game. But I still think that it's ahead of its time. Ow. So, almost V2, and this weapon pretty much is worthless until it's up to the absolute maximum. So you haven't really got much of a reason to use it, but I am of course still going to try to cycle between the weapons as much as possible. There will inevitably be a few weapons that I'm like, no, I'm just going to keep using this until it's leveled up. Alright, using only the shock blaster, that's fine. This only costs 1 ammo, but it's definitely the stronger alternative, so you want to be using the charged option as often as you can, and then of course at V5 that charged option becomes the main damage source, and it becomes quite a strong weapon, I believe, although I never really used this one much. When I was a kid, this wasn't not one of my main choices of weaponry. Which is a slightly awkward sentence. Rest assured, I never actually used true firearms when I was a kid. We didn't have them in the house. We still don't. Alright, using only the wrench. This one's especially easy. As you can see, 1-hit KO. And I believe that is indeed the wrench that you get in Going Commando. Let me have a look at it. It looks like it would be the same wrench. These enemies basically function the same way as the flamethrower enemies in Going Commando. The ones that you fight in the arena. And just like the ones that you fight in the arena, you can slam down on them to avoid taking damage at the hands of the flamethrower. Ooh, these guys even have a bomb glove. And they even have, yeah, what is it called? The Walloper. So they're using a bunch of old Gadgetron weapons. How cool is that? You don't have to compliment me for that wrench throw. Nerves of titanium. Yep, fair enough. And this one, you'd expect is going to be enough to level up the whip and see what the V2 is all about. Because to be quite honest with you, I never actually knew until fairly recently, I would say, until my last time I played through this game, that you get the same Going Commando upgrades here when you level them up. Yeah, it just does a little bit more damage. Alright, so I never knew to actually check and see whether I had the lock-on mod or anything like that. And now the N60 Stone Gun, and as you can see, it's obviously not stronger than the whip. It's taking 2 hits. Interesting, if you spam the button, it shoots faster. That's as fast as I can get it to shoot. That's as fast as it'll shoot normally. Let me just try and see if I can get this a little bit better. Right. Fire rate, I know it can be better than this. will of course be trying to avoid that if at all possible, because it's not clever. 15 shots per crate, so it's a 10% ammo gain. And this one as well, leveling up fairly quickly considering the type of enemy that we're dealing with here. You would not expect a full level by the end of this, but it'll be well on its way. Come on then. You know, fuck it, I am gonna spam shoot it. Why wouldn't I? If it's not gonna miss with the shots, then you might as well just kill enemies faster. I'm of course also running out of ammo much faster, but still using the same ammo per enemy. Ooh. Yeah, this thing just doesn't miss, does it? I do believe it shoots much faster when you level it up, but that's a long way away. And I don't just mean V2. Or maybe I do, I don't actually remember. It's a great mechanic though, the one that I introduced, to have multiple levels. Ooh, baby. May actually get away with buying another weapon by the end of this, which I have no right to. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Because why bother with what you have a right to do when you can just bother about what you can do, you know? Does it matter if something's incorrect if you can get away with it? I don't think so. That's also my philosophy for writing stories that have a political backdrop and keeping them interesting. Where you have laws and everything, doesn't mean they have to be respected, so it's not about, you know, it's like, if you have a character who is the president, and they're like, I am the president, and as a result, I dictate certain things, and you are required by law to follow those things. And, you know, in a badly written book, the characters would be like, yeah, okay. But in a well-written book, that would not be the case, because, you know, bad guys who are willing to break the rules, they don't care about that, do they? Anyway, ooh, I did not get full ammo. Betrayal. How can that be? Anyway. Yeah, my point is, if you're gonna write a story that has any sort of political backdrop, like, take a look at, for instance, A Song of Ice and Fire, the George R. R. Martin book series. There are a lot of moments where you'd think, oh, you know, like when Ned walks up to Cersei and he's like, here's a letter written by your late husband saying that I am to act as king until Joffrey comes of age. And then in a bad book, it would have been like, oh, okay, sorry, you know, damn it, I really don't want this to happen, but I have to because my dead husband who was king said so. Instead, she just rips up a piece of paper and says, I don't give a fuck, I'll do what I want. On that note, I'll do what I want as well and head to Marcadia, or what is probably going to be the last video for me today. This one's been quite long. This one won't be.